Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, with new teeth. The perms are in now, so, good stuff. But anyway, back again with another video right here on Metal God 66, brother, nah. Thank you for watching, make sure you like the video and subscribe right now. And then do all that other shit I usually tell you, do that later. But anyway, move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this sorta hot Thursday afternoon, July the 24th, 2025. Hope everybody's having a great day, but this week has been probably the worst week of 2025, because, everybody says death comes in threes. That's what we call it, the death triangle. Like the Gilmore Cutter. But, But this week has been bad. We lost Malcolm Jamal Warner of The Cosby Show. He drowned in Costa Rica on Monday. He was 54 years old. Yesterday, we lost God, basically, Ozzy. We lost him yesterday at the age of 76. And then today, bing, bing, boom, number 3, we lost an icon, probably one of the biggest icon in wrestling, and we all know him, you love him, some of you hate him, but you still respect the guy, and that is Hulk Hogan, brother. Yes, sadly, Terry Bollea, a.k.a. the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, has passed away today, this morning actually, at the age of 71 due to cardiac arrest. Now, somebody said, I read something that he died during surgery, but people said, reports say he died at his home. And, there's footage showing, Hulk Hogan being taken out of his house, after he passed away, so it's not great, but, but we lost the Hulkster today, and, losing Ozzy yesterday, I thought was, forget it, I'm still not even over it. A day after Ozzy passed away. Now, one of my childhood, wrestlers I looked up to back in the day, and he's done a lot of shit. Let's be real, he's done a lot of shit with the whole racism thing, and the whole promotion that, I guess it's not going to be a promotion anymore, and I called that, by the way, that, Real American Wrestling promotion that him and Bitchoff we're gonna start up. Well, I don't know if Bitchoff's still gonna do that now when his partner is gone, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But another hit to my childhood from the 80s, because I grew up I grew up in 76, but most of my childhood was from like 78 up. So, but mostly the 80s, which are the greatest decade ever. So, but yeah. But, just a sad day, losing the Hulkster. That's that. So, he had neck surgery a couple months ago. And everything seemed fine, and then we heard the rumors that he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk. People saying he was on his deathbed. Jimmy Hart went on Twitter, I believe, yesterday, saying the Hulkster's fine, everything is groovy, baby, stuff like that. And then, next thing you know, this morning, he passed away due to a heart attack. Or cardiac arrest, as they say. But, yeah. So, a lot of people are mourning the loss of Hogan, Ric Flair being one of them. He came out and said that his beef, or his rivalry with Hogan, which is legendary, we all know that. But they've had some spats in the past, but now he came out and said, I'm sorry that Hogan, my friend Hogan is gone, and all the animosity he had is pretty much, swept under the rug. And that's it. But others have come out. WWE did have a statement, which said, we are saddened at the loss of Hulk Hogan, and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if TNA does something tonight, shows an in memoriam to Hogan, like at the start of the show. Because the show is taped, so they'll probably put up the graphic before the show starts. Same thing with Ring of Honor. SmackDown will probably have something tomorrow with a graphic, or I don't know what they do, but we have that. Collision, I assume Collision will have something with that, and Monday Night Raw is coming Monday. So there will be tributes to the Hulkster from tonight, tomorrow, Collision on Saturday, and Raw on Monday. And there would be no WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan. There'd be no wrestling in general without Hulk Hogan. So, like I said before, amidst all his bullshit that he did with the racism, the porn tape, cheating on Linda, and having now a girlfriend, wife, whatever it is now, her name is Sky. You know, that pretty much looks like Brookie Hogan. You know, amidst all that bullshit, he still was a great guy, and you gotta respect him for being one of the biggest icons in wrestling. And like I said before, if there was no Hulk Hogan, there would be no WWF/WWE, there would be no WrestleMania. We wouldn't have stars like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Macho Man Randy Savage, Rowdy Piper, and the list goes on and on and on. We wouldn't even have the Rock and Wrestling Connection would have never happened. Power Driver would have never happened. Anything in wrestling would have never happened without Hulk Hogan. But anyway, let's get to some of the wrestlers and the people that paid tribute to Hogan. I'm taking this from Ringside News. Zila Fatu, remember the Bloodline? He said he was heartbroken and said, and I quote, R.I.P. Unk. It means uncle for you stupid people. Jimmy Wang Yang, for people, Jimmy Wang Yang, reacted to the Hulkster's demise. He thanked Hogan for the memories, saying, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, thanks for some great memories. Conrad Thompson of Dark Side of the Ring got into wrestling because of the Hulkster, and he thanked Hogan for all the great memories and said he hopes Hogan's family finds peace and comfort. You know, Brookie Hogan, an emotional wreck. Nick Hogan, who supposedly got arrested again for some drunk driving shit. I assume he's upset. Linda Hogan, Bubba the Love Sponge, everybody that knew Hogan, you know, was that. Alright, Conrad Thompson said, Hulk Hogan was the reason I fell in love with wrestling. Thank you for the memories. I'll pray for peace and contentment for your family. I said that before. Charlotte Flair and her dad said that when her dad almost passed away 8 years ago, Hogan was one of the few people who stayed by his side through it all. So, amidst all the bullshit that people have between each other, there's still a little bit of animosity, a little bit of respect. So, you know, you hate, you know, when somebody dies or is in a hospital, you put all the animosity aside for that person and their family. You know, I said a lot of shit about Roman Reigns back in the day, but when he had leukemia, I made the apology video, and I haven't said shit all about Roman. And I know somebody's gonna say, oh, but you did a rant 2 months ago. Yeah, it wasn't about hating Hogan, it was about hating his stupid promotion that was coming out. I don't hate the guy. I've been a Hulkamaniac for God knows how long. Ever since, you know, Hogan basically got me into wrestling. Well, not Hogan per se, but I wasn't a fan of Hogan until WrestleMania 1. But I knew of Hogan in the AWA when I started my wrestling journey 40 some odd years ago. So I started with WCCW into the AWA, into the NWA, into WWE. And stuff like that. So don't think I hate Hogan. People just love to twist my words and make their own assumptions. Oh, you hate Hogan. You bashed him 2 months ago. I didn't bash him. I bashed him for having a super promotion trying to get back into wrestling. I'm like, stop. You know, just enjoy your retirement. enjoy retirement at home in Vero Beach, California, or in Tampa, Florida, with your restaurant, your beach house, and your hot girlfriend and everything. Would be cool. I mean, the last time we saw Hogan on TV was the January 6th Netflix premiere of Raw, where he got booed unmercifully by Marks because of his affiliation with Donald Trump. But I never hated the guy, so if you think I hate him, fuck you. Anyway, Shawn said her heart goes out to Nick and Brooke Hogan during this tough time and wished Hogan peace in his passing. Ric Flair said, I am absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend, Hulk Hogan. He's been by my side since we started in the wrestling business. An incredible athlete, talent, friend, father, movie star. Friendship has meant the world to me. He was always there for me, even when I didn't ask for him to be. He was one of the first to visit me when I was in the hospital with a 2% chance of living. That was like 8 years ago. He prayed by my bedside. Hulk also lent me money when Ric Flair's son, Reed, was sick. And he says, Hulkster, no one will ever compare to you. Rest in peace, my friend. And that's it. So even, like I said before, even Flair had some beef with Hogan, but, for the sake of his family, he put all that shit away. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Brother Putai. He said, through the good times and the bad, I always loved my brother Terry, because they were brothers. I am devastated by the loss of my friend. I only wish we had time to mend a broken friendship before his passing. I didn't even know they broke their friendship. I didn't even know that. Wow. Something new every day. Until I see you, brother, in the big square circle in the sky, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Anything else? Not much. But you get the point. I'm gonna get more news. Brooke Hogan came out with a statement about her dad. Trying to get the actual statement from what she said. They reconciled their broken relationship, actually. Their relationship strained, and per TMZ, Brooke told TMZ that she learned of her father's passing on Thursday morning through a text message that Nick, her brother, sent to her husband. That guy, I think he's on the I forgot his name. He's on the Cowboys. I remember the Cowboys. She has twins now, so. Well, the relationship has been distant for quite some time. Brooke is said to be grateful she had one final chance to tell her father she loved him, and the last time they spoke was just 2 weeks before Hogan's wedding to Sky Daly, who looks like Brookie Hogan. And during that final conversation, Brooke voiced concerns about her father's health and lifestyle, because he was a wild and crazy guy. He had a real American beer, which didn't do well, like the Hulk Hogan pasta. Remember that shit? Hogan pasta, Hogan, everything. He tried to merch off of George Foreman Grill. Had the Hogan Grill, which went nowhere. His movies weren't great, except for maybe No Holds Barred. That was the only good movie by Hogan. He had Trouble in Paradise, good TV show, lasted like 2 seasons. There's on Baywatch a couple of episodes with Brother Beefcake, Ric Flair, Vader, the late great Big Van Vader, Flair, the late great Kevin Sullivan, Sting, I think, was on there too. A lot of WCW wrestlers were on that show. But despite during the emotional call, the Hulkster allegedly apologized to Brooke, though he didn't specify why. And despite that, Brooke appreciated the exchange, and she left the conversation with a sense of closure, even though they wouldn't speak again after that. So since September 2023? For almost 2 years, since then, Brooke and her father had barely talked. So, but now she has some closure. Not the greatest closure in the world, but, you know, that's that. And just sad for Brooke and Nick and Linda that, you know, the loss of their father, former husband, and everything like that. And then this stupidity comes out. Some protester at Ron DeSantis' Hulk Hogan tribute says some stupid shit, and they had to get escorted out. Trolls online saying bullshit. Tony Giovanni had to shut that down. I mean, what's with people? Somebody dies and everybody goes on Twitter, "Oh, I'm glad he's dead." I mean, really, it just shows people have no fucking heart. I mean, I hate John Cena too, with a passion. My disdain for Cena actually now is a bad guy. I'm like, oh, I take everything back. I still hate him in some ways, but if he died today, am I gonna go, yeah, John Cena's dead, great? No. I'm gonna pay respect to the man. Like I always do with my Rest in Peace videos that are not for clout. You think that? You need your head examined. Or just beaten severely, but that's another story for another time. Clearwater, Florida police confirmed that Hogan's death was not suspicious. It was just natural causes, cardiac arrest. We had that. Pardon my voice. I did get my teeth done, so the Novocaine is starting to wear off. So if I sound a little bit weird, it's just because of Novocaine. And I have a headache too, so it's one of those days. We have that. I don't think anything else I have to really mention. Like I said, Triple H did pay tribute to Hogan in his own way. Let's see if I could find anything. Bubba the Love Sponge regrets not reconciling with Hogan before his death. Because the whole thing, I guess, with the porn tape with his wife. I don't know if he's still married to that girl, but I don't know how any person like Bubba the Love Sponge would allow his wife to get fucked by a guy like Hulk Hogan. I wouldn't have anybody want to do you know who, but even for the right money. But that's another story for another time. But, you know, if I was Bubba the Love Sponge, I would have reconciled this whole shit. Now he's like, oh, I can't do it now. Now I'm fine with it. You're an idiot. But it is what it is. Kevin Nash said his respects to Hogan, his good friend for many, many, many years. And even Vincent Kennedy McMahon, that old senile fuck that he is. I still respect the guy. I hate him, but I do respect him for making WWF and WWE what it is. He's still a creepy bastard. If he died tomorrow, I'll pay my respects, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, Vince said, the world lost a treasure today. Hulk Hogan was the greatest WWE superstar of all time, you think? So, of the 80s era. Not of all time, you can put him on that list. I think he's my number one. If you're talking about modern era, after 90, pretty much 94 on, I mean, you can put Taker up there. I think Taker is there, right up the top. But Hogan paved the way for guys like Taker, who is the true GOAT of the modern era. Hogan is of all time, in my eyes. And Taker would probably be in the top 10. Top 5, top 10. Gotta put Bruno up there, gotta put guys like Randy Savage and Roddy Piper, Flair, Sting, Luger. Those are at least the top 10 right there. Taker's one of them. Roman's even in the top 10. In my top 10. which I might do a video about, like an updated video of my top 10 all-time wrestlers. There might be some current ones, there might be some, the ones I mentioned before. But we have that. He was someone who was loved and admired around the world. He was a trailblazer, the first performer who transitioned from being a wrestling star into a global phenomenon. Did he say anything else? His grit and unbridled thirst for success was unparalleled and made him the consummate performer. He gave everything he had to the audience, whom he appreciated, respected, and loved. He leaves us with one of his favorite expressions: train, take your vitamins, say your prayers, and believe in Almighty Hulk Hogan, brother. So today we pray for the Hulkster. That's what Vince said. And that's pretty much it. More news will probably be coming in later tonight and probably this weekend with the Hulkster. And like I mentioned before, Sting with the reaction. He paid his respects. Triple H the same thing, mourning the loss. Let me see anything else before I head out of here. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So, that is my video. Just a sad day for all us Hulkamaniacs out there that believed, trained, and said their prayers to Almighty Hulk Hogan and to God religiously for the 80s. Trained like Hogan, with the Hulk. Remember when Hogan had he had that stuff that you put on your wall, you train like Hulk Hogan, the videos or whatever it was. We watched Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling Connection back in the day, in the 80s. Saw WrestleManias. I've been to WrestleMania 1, 3. The only ones that Hogan was actually, on. Well, he was on a lot of WrestleMania, not a lot of WrestleMania. I think the last WrestleMania he was actually on and wrestled was WrestleMania 9 when he beat Yokozuna for the WWF title and then lost it like 2 months later. But, then he went to, he went to TNA, had some matches with Ric Flair, those bloody as garbage. Oh, God. 50, 60-year-old guys wrestling in a ring, bleeding like crazy. It's just like, ugh. No. I mean, Hall of Famer twice with the NWO by himself. A cultural icon. Semi-good movie star. I think the Tooth Fairy really kills his career, but that's just another story from another time. Not the Tooth Fairy. What's a damn movie where he plays on that thing? Not Suburban Commando. No. Mr. Nanny, I think it was called, where he plays a nanny. I think that really killed his career. But, to do it all. And the 2 seasons of American Gladiators, which were god-awful. And the one with The Miz is going to be god-awful, too, even though Wardlow and Camille are on that show. But it is what it is. But through everything, Hulk Hogan was a cultural icon. Big part of my childhood. If it wasn't for Hogan, I would not be talking right now. I would not be doing wrestling reviews, going to wrestling and everything, and not loving the sport of professional wrestling. If it wasn't for Hogan, I wouldn't be caring about wrestling. But that's that. But do it all. I never hated the guy. I might have ranted on him with his wrestling promotion and some things he did in TNA, But through it all, Hulkster, you were my childhood. I believed in you. I still believe in you. And I'm sorry that you're gone right now. But you're a really big part of my childhood. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for WrestleMania. Thank you for wrestling in general. But you're a great man. And I know you're having great matches up there now with Macho Man Randy Savage even the Iron Sheik, and even his former manager, Classy Freddie Blassie, and so many wrestlers up there in heaven. That big ring in the sky has got the icon, the legend, Terry Bollea, otherwise known as Hulk Hogan. And, I don't have my drink, because hopefully I'm not going to get it. I would toast Hulk Hogan with a ceremonial drink, but I will pay my respects to Hulk Hogan and give him a little moment of silence. And I'm wearing a cross, not for Hogan, but just for myself, because I believe in God and all that shit. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, leave your thoughts and opinions down below about the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, an icon, a great man. Even through some of his bullshit, he was still a great man. We have to respect that. And if you don't respect that, well, fuck you. And that's that. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. You're a real American. He's up there with Rick Derringer now, probably coming out to the ring, Hulk Hogan with Real American or Voodoo Child. He's up there with Jimi Hendrix now, too. Great man. Great man. So, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Thank you for wrestling. And, just thank you to the Hulkster. Brother! And that's it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take each day as it comes, because we never know when it could be our last. So, be thankful that you get to live and see another day. And that's pretty much it. Live life at 90%, because we don't know what the other 10% is. That's that. Alright, guys, I'm going to get to my wrestling reviews a little bit later with my NXT and AEW review over on my Peter Joseph channel. We'll get to Raw probably tomorrow, and TNA probably tomorrow, but I'm going to do a lot of videos today. NXT and AEW, not back to back, so 3 videos today, maybe 4 if I get a chance to do a TNA review and Ring of Honor, or I'll put everything off till tomorrow and do Raw, TNA, Ring of Honor, then get into SmackDown. And then Saturday, late Saturday night or Sunday, we'll talk about Collision or anything else that comes your way in the world of professional wrestling, the sport of professional wrestling. I'll be here for that. So, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. And until next time, brother, peace.